Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie Mori. It's good to be with you again. I promised yesterday that I was going to be on again today, and I am doing a challenge where I'm doing my best to be on Facebook Live at least for the next 21 days. And with every time that I'm going to be with you, I would like to give you some tips. The first time that I did Facebook Live, we shared tips on how to maximize your cruise. And yesterday I shared one tip on how to write a more compelling and engaging book. Today I want to share a tip for those of you who are in business or who have a product or a service or some type of coaching program. And here is one game-changing tip that we have shared with our coaching clients, our students, in how to better market their product, their services, their coaching programs, their packages, their masterminds, their continuity programs, and so on and so forth. And this one tip is going to take you to the next level. So the first, before I begin, before I share that one game-changing tip with you, I want to share with you some artwork that our son Michael did. Today is Wednesday. He did this yesterday, and he's in art class typically on Tuesdays. Anyway, this is really amazing because he is starting to draw 3D pictures, and he's only 5 years old. So this is, if you can tell, he's drawing 3D pictures here, and he put dad, mom, his sister Alyssa, and then of course his one cake for him, Michael, right? So anyway, the important thing about this one is that he made up for some missed classes in art. And what happened was the very first one that he missed, the second one he missed was because he got sick, but the very first class that he missed was because he had disobeyed, and so he missed that art class. And so what happened was he had to miss art class, which he loves. He loves art class, right? And he really likes to hone his skills in drawing and coloring and painting, and he's already experienced how to paint on canvas. Now, the thing about Michael, comparing this to those of you who I'm going to give this next tip to, is that some don't ever finish their books, some don't ever finish their videos, some don't ever finish their online training courses because they don't have somebody to encourage them along the way. They don't have somebody to guide them along the way. They don't have accountability partners, and so on and so forth, right? So I'm sharing this story with you because the game-changing tip that I want to share with you today is use the power of story. This is huge. I'm going to give you an example. When we were doing a masterclass in how to write and publish our clients' books, not just on an ebook version, but also on paperback. Okay, one of these things. So I'm going to show you some of our clients' books. Here's Jane Huff's book, and here's Dr. Becky's book, and here's Dr. Becky's second book. So we have results. We have gained and gotten results for our clients where they actually completed their books. They've written their books, and they've used these books to open doors of opportunity for them. Anyway, going back, just to backtrack, one of our clients, she sent to me her initial draft of her book. And it was very, I would say, bare bones. It was like the skeleton. It didn't have the meat, it didn't have the skin, it didn't have the nerves, it didn't have it didn't have a lot of the things that I would be looking for in a book that is engaging and compelling, right? And so if you're going to market your business, if you're going to market your service, if you're going to market your coaching products, do your best to incorporate this one game-changing tip, the power of story. This one tip alone will catapult you to the next level, because not a lot of businesses, not a lot of authors, not a lot of coaches use the power of story in order to propel their marketing to the next level. And so going back to the story about our son, about him missing art class, Didn't that engage you? Didn't that make you want to know what happened? Didn't that make you feel, our disappointment in him not getting to that class, but then the encouragement that we got when he did make it to art class, when he did follow all the way through with at least one full day of obedience during that art class day, and he was able to attend the art class, which is why we had this result, right? So anyway, this client of ours, when I read the draft, I gave her feedback and I said, okay, this is okay. What you're sharing with me is, like the 1, 2, 3, but it's not engaging. It's not compelling. It doesn't really make me feel connected to you. It doesn't give me some juice. So in order to connect with your clients, in order to connect with your readers, in order to connect with your viewers of your online training courses or your books, your coaching programs, your mastermind groups, there always needs to be the power of your story. Not just any story, but specifically your story or stories of someone that you've helped or your case studies. Jim and I have another coaching client. He's a very high-end client. And one of the things that we've asked from him is to provide case studies because he's an expert at this particular skill. And he is writing a book about this skill and he wants to develop online training courses regarding this particular skill. So the thing that we asked from him is, please do your best to share as many case studies as possible using the power of story. And not only that, hi Jacob, it's good to see you. Anyway, Jacob, I'm glad you're here. Hope you're going to be able to join us for the next several days. Anyway, we asked him to also think about case studies of his clients that he's helped to learn this particular skill and use these particular case studies with different sections or different subsets of the skill that he's training these folks in, right? So we asked him to tailor his story in each chapter, each online module to appeal to his audience, right? So it can be a story that, okay, let's say, for example, he is wanting to share a strategy about, let's say, for example, the skill of, let me just throw this out there, the skill of sales, right? Okay, let's just say, for example, that's what he is trying to teach his coaching students. So his case studies that we've asked from him is to share case studies where he's helped somebody who is afraid of sales, right? And then maybe another case study of somebody who was too, how would I say, maybe too loud or didn't have the emotional IQ or the emotional intelligence in order to feel what his presentation, how his presentation was affecting the clients or potential clients or the prospects. So this is what we asked him to do, is to share stories or case studies. Anyway, so to wrap this up, because we're coming up to the 10-minute mark here, and I want to keep this as short as possible. Use the power of story and tailor your stories to appeal to your audience. You can even share about your personal, even your family life, and maybe how something that happened in your family has helped you to also use that in your business life, or vice versa. So if, let's say, for example, you're a parenting coach or you're a life coach, then you can use something in business in order to apply it to those that you are coaching, whether you're coaching them in marriage, you're coaching them in their parenting, or you're coaching them in their health and their fitness and so on. So remember that. Please do your best to always think about case studies or people that you've helped or stories from your own personal life that you can share with your reader, with your audience, so that they'll be more engaged with you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to type it into the comments and I'll address it in some future Facebook Live posts. Thank you very, very much for joining me, Jacob, and the other viewers. It's great to be with you. And again, look forward to being with you again tomorrow and the next several days, where we're going to talk about different tips on how to get to the next level, maybe how to have a better cruise, how to have maybe write a better book, and so on and so forth. Thank you so much and have a fantastic rest of your week. Goodbye.